Phoebe, thanks for having me here and on this panel and having me on this conference. I'm speaking on behalf of the World Academy of Arts and Science, who's been running a commission on trying to exactly answer that question you're just asking me. And I've prepared a little presentation, if that's okay. I'm speaking about 5 to 7 minutes, and I'm going to show you a 4 minutes video who tries to give an answer to this question. Yeah? Just look at this graph. This is the CO2 level on a global scale over the last 2 decades, 2 centuries. The last 50 years, actually not much happened. Statistically, Paris cannot even be measured as an intervention. Look at this graph. This is a planet index that measures the loss of species over a long period of time. And again, if you take all the efforts together, we're still losing about 100 species every day. The same is true for pandemics. We expect about 8 to 10 additional virus becoming epidemic or pandemic within the next decade, and we're not well prepared in order to hedge the risks and to fund the unmet challenges ahead. This is why the World Academy met some 5 years ago and tried to answer the question, how can we fund, manage, and hedge our common future? Exemplified with the case studies of the UN SDGs. Just keep in mind, if you take all assets on this planet together, all assets under management, about 85 to 90% of these assets are private already. Only about 10-15% of these assets are run by public agencies. Should we further privatize the entire world, the last 10%? Or how can we come up with a comprehensive narrative to make that all happen? And the question is about feasibility. The UN SDGs is about 17 goals that will cost roughly about $4 to $5 trillion additional liquidity necessary over the next 10-15 years, where about a third is eligible for private investment, as we just heard, but 2/3 are not. 2/3 are global commons. We should really be critical of privatizing all that, right? And feasibility means not coming up with an academic idea about the best financial system in the world, but coming up with the next best step, how to achieve that. Coming up with 4 to 5 trillion every year in additional liquidity to finance the UN SDGs, where we have the entire political consensus. We have the entire scientific evidence, but we are lacking the financial system to enable that. And I would like to show you a little film, 4 minutes. That's okay.
Yes, please.
Imagine our world in 15 years. We reach the Sustainable Development Goals. We have stopped climate change, saved our planet, and overcome major social challenges at the same time. It's possible. We already have the scientific evidence, the technology, and the political consensus. The only thing we need is the money to make it happen. $4 to $5 trillion annually over the next 15 years, earmarked, raised fast. Let's look at our current financial system. Central banks create money precisely where the entire global value chain starts. This value chain has to jump multiple hurdles like ongoing pandemics, species extinction, the increasing carbon bubble, and other catastrophes, which are costs that keep the entire value chain functioning. In addition, the shadow economy, which is fraught with scams, corruption, illicit transactions, and money laundering, is feeding that value chain and pulling it in the wrong direction. At the bottom of that value chain, we tax our economic activities and transfer that tax money towards the SDGs. This so-called end-of-pipe financing is too slow and too little in volume to finance our future, and it can't invest in risky green projects or serve the general interest and our common good. Besides, we don't want to privatize our entire world. Commons require a different monetary approach. We have to learn to think differently. Traditionally, finance drives sustainability. It should be the other way around. Sustainability drives finance. We identify the challenges and create the most innovative financial assets and bodies to solve these challenges. So, what is the solution? We create a parallel financial system based on a blockchain-built cryptocurrency. This way, we would have enough money to invest in projects that support the SDGs. The beauty of such a parallel system stems from the fact that it is able to shift our entire society towards a greener, more sustainable future. How does it work? The currency can be issued by central banks or regulated private agents. The use of the money will be determined by the SDGs. These will be shaped into concrete guidelines and stored in the currency itself as a smart contract, the blockchain, a distributive ledger technology. The smart contract doesn't allow the money to be used in any other way than that defined in the smart contract. Also, transactions will be stored in the blockchain. No manipulation is possible. Therefore, no greenwashing, corruption, shadow economy, fraud, or theft. We create millions of green and fair jobs at the same time. The best thing, this is much faster than other solutions. We can put it up in less than 18 months with a staff of fewer than 200. In the past, our financial system had been stumbling from crisis to crisis. We should have a financial system that serves the common good, not itself. For that reason, we need a two-pronged currency system. With the additional green cryptocurrency, our financial system would rely on two pillars instead of just a single, unstable one. If done in the right way, it operates in an anti-cyclical and anti-inflationary fashion and makes the system more resilient. It generates circular and more regional economies. With this financial mechanism in place, we create unlimited opportunities. It will allow us to non-disruptively hedge, fund, and transit our society towards a more sustainable future, for fairer profits, healthier people, and for the entire planet. Ask your government officials, how do you want to finance the SDGs in the next 15 years? If the answer is unsatisfactory, then tell them there is an alternative available. Think outside the box. Unleash the sleeping giant of a parallel SDG cryptocurrency. Questions?